This is Chris Ayers with Video Insight, and today we're going to talk about the creation, management, and viewing of guard tours in the Video Insight VI monitor. I do want to point out once again before we start this that to create and manage guard tours, you will have to have administrative rights to the software. So, the first things first, let's go ahead and create a guard tour. To create a guard tour, I'm going to go into administration portion of my ribbon, and then I'm actually going to go to the accessories icon here. Once I'm in the accessories, I'm going to select from my left side tree, guard tours. So, first things first, I do have the ability to determine which server I'm going to create a guard tour for. Once I determine that server, I come in and I select add. This is going to add the guard tour. Now, first things first, I do have to give the guard tour a name, and then I determine which cameras are going to cycle through for that guard tour. The idea here is a window is going to pop up and it's going to display the first camera here in my list, having the user look at it. We'll talk about some of the things they can do after that. Then when they hit next, it's going to go to the next camera, so on and so forth. So they are cycling through their cameras in a manual capacity, typically inputting some form of text or documentation as to what was occurring. So once I have the camera selected that I would like my tour to have, I can come in here and schedule it. Scheduling can be done however I want, say every 60 minutes, so it happened every hour on the hour in between those 2 hours. I can run it once a day, so it'll only run at that specific time, or I can do on-demand only. On-demand only is going to be a user going in, loading the guard tour, and running it for that user. Under options here, I can determine who is going to run the tour. All users means when this tour is run, everybody who is logged into this software will have the tour run. If it is a specific user, it will only run for that specific user. Same thing if you select specific group. It will only run for the users who are in that group. The option down here states force user to input or enter text before continuing. This forces the user who is viewing the guard tour to go through and put in some form of text before they're allowed to move to the next camera. I'm going to go ahead and check off this option so you can see so when we look at it. Once my tour is created and I have my options are set, I hit OK. Here's my tour. If the tour is already in existence, I can always come back to the same location, highlight the tour, go to Properties, and then change any of the tour information that I need. Let's talk about accessing the tour now and then viewing it. So the tour itself is going to show up under the Tools portion of my ribbon, underneath its own section called Guard Tour. Here I can go ahead and run the tour. As I said, this is an on-demand tour, so I do have to come in and run it. Run tour, highlight the tour I would like to run selected tour. It's going to run for the user or all users as I determine. It starts here with my first camera. It shows me the motion events that have occurred for that camera in the previous few days. And if you'll notice, it does remind me that I do have to set notes. So if I try to go next without putting anything in, it will not allow me to do so. If it's a PTZ, it will also allow me to move the PTZ function of that camera. I will continue to do this through all of the cameras that I have selected for my guard tour. I selected 4 when I originally set this tour up. Once I'm done here, it will then bring up a finish button. Once I finish it, my guard tour has been run and this information is placed into the database. Now I can come back in here as an administrator, run a report, also under the guard tour under the tools section, select an individual tour that I would like to run a report for, and I can run this report for multiple calendar days. So once I go in and do this, it will show me the report. Here's when the report was run, here's who it was run by, and who went through it. This is when it started, this is when it ended, this is the amount of total seconds it took to complete it. If I expand down, it will show me each of the cameras that was associated with the tour, and then what notes were put in place. I can come in and save this individually to a text file, so I can see this information as plain text, or I can save it to an Excel spreadsheet and then see it as an actual spreadsheet. Note, these guard tours are also accessible and viewable from the web client.